Hey there everybody, Reload here, and I'm unboxing the new Steam controller. The official release date is November 10th, but the units purchased before June of this year have shipped out early. And here's one of them. Now personally, I'm a die-hard fan of the keyboard and mouse combination. I just never got used to any of the controllers, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation. Usually I'd get very frustrated playing the console games, but when it was announced, the Steam controller has intrigued me. It appears to be designed for the replacement of a keyboard and mouse. It's all part of the ongoing effort by Valve to move our PC games to the living room, so I was really interested in trying this controller out. I'm very curious how the touchscreen buttons are going to be working out. So let's go ahead and dive right in with the unpackaging of Steam controller. But before opening it up, let's take a look at the box itself. Right in the bottom it says everything that's included in the package. I can see there's two AA batteries, a USB cord, and I'm assuming it's a Bluetooth controller or a transmitter. The box itself is quite a sleek design and it feels very sturdy. It feels like a quality product. So let's go ahead and start cutting the tape. Just a little tab on the bottom to cut through to remove the outer sleeve. Alright, here we go. Oh wow, very minimalistic design. I rather like it. There's just a little Steam logo in the top left corner of the box. And just one more tape to cut through. And here it is. The brand new Steam controller. It's all carefully packaged away inside this box. Let's take it out and actually take a look at it. It feels like a rather sturdy unit. It's not too heavy though. The weight does not seem to be too different from the PlayStation 3 controller, maybe a little on the heavier side. Interestingly, the back of the controller appears to have two more buttons. I'm not sure if that's normal for controllers these days, but I've never really seen that before. The two touchscreens feel quite nice. There's a bit of a texture to them. I'm very curious how these will work out. In addition, there's the traditional joystick button as well as the X, Y, A, B buttons here. I'm thinking these are more like legacy buttons for people that are used to two controllers. The controller itself fits my hands quite nicely. I think Valve did a good job with their ergonomics. And just like with other controllers, there's also two trigger buttons on the top, or I should say two triggers and two more buttons. The trigger button itself, however, has two stages. You can definitely feel that. With all the customization options promised in the ads, this feels like a very useful feature in the future. I'm still quite blown away by the two buttons at the back though. It'll totally get the other fingers working, and I can't believe other controllers did not have this feature before. Okay, let's take a look at what else is included with the controller. Looks like we got the wireless transmitter. I'm assuming it's Bluetooth, but I'm not 100% sure. And we also have two AA batteries. I think it's very nice of Valve to actually include the batteries. I'll probably switch these out for rechargeable ones later on, but it's still a very nice gesture. It looks like we have an extender for the transmitter. Or is it a receiver? Well, let's just call it the Bluetooth. There's a USB cable and the base where you plug the Bluetooth in. That's probably to keep it visible with the controller so that there's no interruption in the signal. At least that's my assumption. Finally, we have the quick start guide. Looks like it tells you how to install the batteries and how to connect the controller to the computer. And the actual product guide is included as well. So let's go ahead and install the batteries and take this controller out for a spin. Putting the batteries in took a little bit more force than I actually expected. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing yet, but time will tell. At the very least, the batteries are very snug and will not be rattling around in the controller. So the batteries are in, and now it's time to finally try the controller out. So here I am in Steam Big Picture, and as soon as you start the controller, you will be asked to update the firmware. That took about a couple of minutes to complete. And then finally the controller was usable. Well, at least in the context of using Steam itself. Unfortunately, most games that I tried were not working out well with this controller. Particularly it was the games that are already designed for a controller. I've tried Mortal Kombat, Dishonored and Borderlands 2. and in all 3 of those games at least some functions were not working properly. This being the first day for the controller, I'm assuming some kinks will have to be worked out. From my troubleshooting attempts, I realized a lot has to do with the mapping of the keys in the controller, but I will leave that for the next video. One of the coolest features I've discovered though is a way to type using the Steam controller. You can simultaneously control the left and the right trackpad as you move your cursor around the on-screen keyboard. It makes typing using just the controller a lot simpler. Now, since I host a lot of EVE Online content on this channel, if you're curious if it's possible to use the Steam controller with that game, the answer is yes, and here's the live demonstration. The controller can pretty effectively replace the mouse. Naturally, it's not as precise, meaning I fumbled through the menus when I tried to warp away from the gate. But overall, the game is still very playable with the Steam controller. Effectively, the left trigger becomes a right mouse button click, and the right trigger becomes the left mouse button click. And the right touchscreen is a way for you to move the mouse cursor around the screen. So if you want to kick back on the couch and play EVE Online on your TV, you're more than able to now. So surprisingly, the game that I did not expect to work well with the Steam controller actually worked really well. I suspect my problems with the controller-enabled games stem from the fact that my Steam controller is not tweaked yet, and the PC key bindings may simply get in the way right now. I will definitely report back once I get this controller working to its full capacity. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed my unboxing and first impressions of the Steam controller. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more gaming content. Please leave a comment on this video if you have any questions about the Steam controller. Thank you for watching.